Hey, what is up guys? This is Rich here with Gaming Tech United, and today I want to talk about the problem with video game journalism. Now, there's that word, video game journalism, game journalists, whatever you want to call it. It's something that I kind of am on the fence about. On one hand, I really enjoy going to these news outlets and seeing what they have to say, seeing what the insiders talk about. But then, on the other hand, as someone who is in actual news journalism, I go to school for journalism, that's what my degree will be in. I kind of compare and contrast them, and I see that news journalism kind of, they investigate, they tell people stories, and a lot of people that call themselves video game journalists don't really do either of those. A lot of these people just take press releases from companies and throw them on their websites, and then just kind of do opinion pieces. And while I'm not saying that there's not room for that kind of stuff, because that's what I do, but I don't claim that I'm a video game journalist. I think that there are certain people that go out there and tell people stories in the industry. There are people that go out there and investigate things. So there are people that I would consider video game journalists, but I think that term has been kind of broadened by a lot of people, and unjustly too. Now, my big problem with the industry, though, are the egos. And while I think that having personality is a must when you're in games media, and that's what I'd rather than be called, games media than games journalism, I think what we're seeing now is the beginning of what is happening with film. And a lot of film critics don't really talk about the film itself. They kind of just use their platform and their popularity to kind of flex their vocabulary, flex their knowledge, and to show that they are superior, more intellectually superior than their audience, and just kind of shit on the movie in the process. So one thing I've noticed, I'm not going to name names, but I was on a certain big website, and there was a personality there writing about a preview event that they went to for a certain game. And while I'm reading through it, I'm just getting more and more disgusted, because they don't talk about the game. They don't talk about the developer. They just talk about how, oh, I've never really liked preview events, and this doesn't make me excited, and I don't like going on stage in front of people, and this isn't exciting for me, and this game's never been my deal. Oh, my job is video games. And that's the thing. I hate to compare and contrast journalism, real life journalism, to video games, because on one hand, journalism in real life, you're covering dangerous situations. You could be in Iraq. You could be interviewing people that put you in very, very dangerous situations, things like that. Whereas in games media, you're really just talking about video games, and they're just games. And as much as I love them and they're a part of my life, you can't compare those. They're apples to oranges. And I think that sometimes some of these personalities see the numbers that they get, and they get such inflated egos, and they think that, well, I'm a journalist now. I'm on this platform, and everyone cares about me, and I am better than my audience. And it just kind of sucks to see that. And there are guys that, like I said earlier, there are people that use their platform for good. There are people that interact with their fans on a daily basis, and just they investigate and they tell people stories, and they should be applauded for that. But I'm seeing a lot of people, and it's a growing trend, a lot of journalists, like they call themselves, are just using their platform to flex their in their minds, their intellectual superiority. And it's a trend that I hope goes away, because I don't want to see that happen like it happens with a lot of film critics. I don't want to see that in video games. And that's what I think is probably the biggest problem with games media. I love listening to podcasts and reading op-eds and reading stories and reading interviews and watching interviews, but I think that sometimes these critics just interject their own personal beliefs and their own personality a little bit too much, when they have to remember that the reader or the watcher or the audience is there to hear about the other person's stories, or the video game that they're talking about, or the preview event, and not themselves. So thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to subscribe and hit that thumbs up button if you like what you saw. be sure to hit the comments. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this one. I know can be a hot button issue, but try to just keep it respectful. Again, this is Rich with Gaming Tech United. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.